Hello everyone and welcome to part 19 of my Winds of Change video guides, A Favor Returned. To start this quest you have to first run up to Meijun Vengeful Eye, who, well, is one of the street gang leaders, I guess. And the last few quests we've dealt with the street gangs, so they are deciding to go up against us and well, I've kidnapped a few kids and was supposed to save them. Anyway, point is, walk up here, get to his dialogue, and eventually the quest will update and then you can move on. Yeah, it's just a bit of a boring wait here for the dialogue to finish. This is, however, the point at which, to my mind at least, the Winds of Change storyline actually becomes pretty decent. So I guess on your first playthrough this would actually be interesting and fun. I've played through this multiple times now, so it's no longer as interesting to me. Yeah, after you're done talking to him, you have to make your way to the Yeti Caves. The rot wallows along the way are standard enemies. They have not been updated for Winds of Change, so they should not be causing you much trouble. They're just the standard blood magic necromancers that yeah, that they've always been, so not really anything to worry about. Fight your way through them. Yes, it might be worth noting that as you approach the cave, you start triggering the enemies attacking the kidnapped children. So try not approaching the cave until you've cleared the until you've killed the enemies that are outside it, basically. Not that it matters much, as you'll see, but it can help a bit, I guess. Otherwise, the first section here is just fighting your way to the cave. I guess I could have sped this up. I'm never quite sure. The video is only about just under 8 minutes long, so I decided to keep it at full length. I'm never sure what the correct length is. I mean, people's attention span differs widely from person to person, and yeah, it's hard to know whether people are okay with a 10-minute video, prefer a 5-minute, whatever. So yeah, you can just see me fighting through the standard enemies here. Again, if your team build can handle Winds of Change hard mode, then these encounters are not going to give you any trouble. And now I'm kind of almost at the Yeti Cave. You will see me make a mistake in, I guess, in a bit. Yeah, generally the Island Guardians should be your first priority, because they can actually revive the rot wallows. So when there are Island Guardians, kill them first. Again, it doesn't matter much. They're not tough enemies, but something to be aware of. And here you see I'm approaching the cave too much, so the dialogue has triggered. Please, if there's anyone there, we need help. Blah de blah. And that also triggers the first group of Yeti to yeah, start attacking. As you can see, I am now pursuing them. If I'd kept my distance a little more, I could have dealt with the rot wallows first, and then had a bit more, I guess, a bit more of a head start on these Yetis, whereas now they have a bit of a head start on me. But they're not very dangerous. They don't do too much damage, so yeah, as you can see, in the end it didn't cause a fail, even though I didn't catch up to them quite in time. They did start attacking the kidnapped. Not sure if they're meant to just be young students or actual children, but they didn't catch up to them in time, essentially. And so now there's a bit of a siege where Yeti will keep coming out and attacking. The Yeti themselves are not terribly dangerous. The warriors are mostly single target damage. They don't have much in the way of AoE. They have frenzy, so they die quite quickly. They have some self-heal, Lion's Comfort, and Endure Pain, to be specific. But yeah, generally they're not very problematic. The monks, the White Yetis, focus on signets, which just aren't that strong. And finally, the Red Yetis, the Necromancers, are probably potentially the most dangerous, because they use Discord, so that's a fairly strong damage skill if enough of them accumulate. But Discord only deals damage to enemies that are suffering from a condition and a hex, or are enchanted, I believe. And so the conditions are fairly strict, and a lot of the time they won't apply, especially since the enemies only have one hex in their entire team build. So it's just not terribly likely that Discord will actually be able to trigger. And then it's not a very, very difficult quest here, really. It's just slowly groups of enemies will keep spawning and you just keep killing them. They don't have much in the way of self-heal. There's a little bit on the White Yetis, but not much. And yeah, the warriors can heal a bit again, but only themselves. So usually not an issue. I guess probably you'd want to focus the Red Yetis if you're struggling, but yeah, you probably won't be struggling. Obviously, when you're done, make sure the quest log actually updates before you zone out. This is a common mistake that I've made a few times in my first Winds of Change playthrough. I thought, okay, I'm done and zoned out, even though I wasn't yet. So, as I said, always make sure your quest log says completed. And in this case, there's one group of Yeti that just spawns late. So, yeah, just kill those and then you're essentially done. As I said, not a difficult quest. You should not be struggling with this if you have come this far. And I guess that really is all there is to say. Kill enemies, and you're done. Nothing specific about it. Again, speed boost would help to get to the cave faster. And you could try to change your team build to deal with the Yeti specifically, but they're not major threats. There's nothing terribly dangerous about them, so I ran with my standard team build, basically. And it worked out nicely. And then, yeah, a bunch of dialogue. I'm not sure if you need to listen to this all or not, or read it rather, but I just did anyway. Okay, well, I wish you best of luck when doing this quest, and bye-bye.